Hey guys, how we doing? And welcome back to Lee's Slotcars. Right, for the start of, yes, another build, you guessed it. And it's going to be made out of, yes, you guessed it, foamboard. Right, I have a big space on the layout that I prepared so it's ready for something, but never really knew what I was going to put there. I had a few ideas, you know, a few seeds of ideas were in there. And I was waiting for a bit of inspiration before I tackled it. But inspiration I found, yes. A couple of weeks ago, I was on holiday. Although by the time this goes out, it would have been more than a couple of weeks ago, but there you go. And I was sitting on the bar at the hotel in Kefalonia, which is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I love the island. Anyway, sitting at the bar with an ice cold beer, and I looked out over the sea and something caught my eye, and this is what it was. Yeah, a hotel. Pretty plain, pretty basic, white, dark windows. But that's when the seed was planted. And these seeds can be planted at any time. And when you least expect it, it's very, very dangerous. Normally when I'm having a quiet moment, because the missus was there on the sort of by the pool reading a book, and I thought, well, I'm just going to go and have a little pint at the bar. And I sat there with my own thoughts. Thinking, as I said before, thinking for me is a very, very dangerous pastime. But anyway, let me show you where it's going to go. Well, this is good because I don't even need to get off my stool to show you this, but this is where it is going to go. Yes, just there. Now, it's going to be a low relief hotel. Well, let me explain what I mean. Low relief buildings, as you're probably aware, are buildings that are just, how can I explain it? A lot thinner than they should be, and they fit into tight spaces. A lot of these are used in the model railway layouts and things like that, where you just have a row of houses, shops or anything, but there is a space of probably about that width actually behind it. So you can put detail behind it, you can put lighting behind it that shines through the front, and that's what I plan to do. Now, I haven't exactly worked out how I'm going to do this, but the basic is going to be to decorate that back panel that I've just shown you, put side pieces on just to extend it out so it's a little bit three-dimensional, and then I'm going to create a front piece that will get stuck on. I also need to fit some lighting inside, and this is going to be a pain in the arse to do, but let me show you what I plan for the lighting. So if you remember from previous videos, I have an LED strip that goes from round about where that door is there, and it goes above all of this and just tapers off down here. I think it ends about there. Now I've got a choice, because rummaging through my box of electrical stuff, I found this. This is longer than that. So if it's long enough, and I haven't measured it yet, I'm going to take all this up, put a longer piece of LED strip coming along here. It will then come up here somewhere, no, probably at the end actually, come up here, through here, and then just snake around the back. Now that will give enough backlight to shine through and should hopefully make this quite effective. If it doesn't reach, then I'm going to have to wait, because I'm going to have to buy a connector clip that will connect this to that. So I'm hoping it's long enough. So I'm just going to measure that and keep my fingers crossed. Good news, it's long enough. Just have to hope it works, but I will try it and we'll test it out. If not, I'm going to have to buy a new one. But it fits, so that is fantastic news. Now the first thing I'm going to do, and I'm not going to film doing it, is putting all these side pieces on that the front will sit onto. So I'm just going to whiz through and do that, and then we'll come back and I'll show you. Then I can explain a bit better what I plan to do on this build. Right, what have I been up to? So I've just stuck these little support bits at the side. This one's coming in at an angle just to fit in with the base there, and I think just to have different angles here and there stop the plane list rather than just having a straight piece that goes all the way along. So that's going to be slightly bent out, which is fine because we'll just score the board once it's cut and pop it out a little bit. And then what have we got? We've got another piece over here. And then this I'm just starting to build up. I don't even know what it's going to be yet, but maybe a reception area. Yeah, who knows? Although I've stuck that down now, so I'm a bit screwed. So I can maybe pop something over the front of it, decorate the front, and maybe this here could be, I don't know, a lift block, you know, elevator. Don't know. Like I say, I'm just getting bits of foam board, sticking it on just so I can get the foundations in place. So far so good. I'm just going to work a bit more on this piece here because this won't be lit up or anything. So I think I'm just going to put like another block on there maybe. Don't know. Let's see what I can come up with. So I'm still randomly sticking bits of foam board on this, but it will all get tidied up because all these edges will have trim round in. It will get tidied up. I think what I'll do here, this can be a reception. This is a door that I sort of made for something. I can't even remember what it was now. But that can go there. And then the other one, which was like a lift, another window on the whatever that was, we can have a lift shaft glass going up there. So that can all get stuck on. The white is it's too bright. It doesn't look good. So on the original photograph, a small part of it was like a sandstone colour. So I think I'm going to mix up a paint that resembles like a sandstone colour and paint this that colour. And I think maybe, you know, the end section there, I may even paint that sandstone as well, just to take away some of the white. And then I need to make a decision whether I keep the front of this building white or paint it, but that's a little way ahead. So for now, what am I going to do? I need to get all this stuck in. I need to get the edges tidied up so they look respectable, and then I can probably mix up some paint and get this bit painted. Right, well, I've tidied this bit up a little bit. It looks okay, so I'm going to get it painted, and might probably need 2 coats because it doesn't stick too well on foam board. And I've gone for, it's basically a sandy colour. It's a bit of raw sienna with a bit of white, probably about a 50-50 mix. So I'm not going to film it, but I'm going to paint this bit now, and we'll see how it looks. We'll see how it's had 1 coat. I like the colour, and then that will get stuck on there, and this will get stuck sort of halfway up somewhere, which will be like the window from, oh, it could be an elevator, it could be anything. So I'm going to wait for this to dry, and then when it's dry, I shall give it another coat because it's a bit patchy. It always is on foam board because it's quite glossy. So I'll give it a slightly watered down coat. I might lighten it fractionally, but we shall see. So while that's drying, I'm going to cut out the front piece of foam board, and that is really where all the detail will be based. I also need to cut a hole just here somewhere to get the LED strip, and I've got to go through the process of getting the LED light out of there and putting the new longer one in, which I'm really not looking forward to, but maybe I should do that next and get it out of the way. We'll see. Right, so now I've cut out the foam board, which will be the front section. Cut it all off. I've given it a coat of paint at the end. This will be the end section, which will sort of frame the building, because you've got that colour there and you've got that there. So that will look pretty good, I'd imagine. Now I've measured it up, and I'm going to get 3 floors and 3 apartments on each floor, and that gives it a decent sort of size. If you look at this fella here, that looks about right in terms of scale. So that's going to be an individual apartment. Now what I need to do on these is to cut out like a patio door first of all, and probably another window in there somewhere. I'm not sure quite whether it'll be, do you know what, it might even be a patio door and a big window because you want a lot of glass on the front of this. If you've got an apartment overlooking a racetrack, you want plenty of glass. What I'll do after that is, when all that's cut out and done, I'm going to build, it'll be wider than this, but there'll be a balcony that comes out across all of it. So there'll be balconies going all across here, and we can really put some detail onto the individual balconies when it's done. But that's sort of a little bit further. I still haven't decided whether the front is going to get painted or whether it's going to stay white. I'm very tempted to do a very lighter version of this. I think that'll work really well, you know, just to take the starkness off the white. And then there'll be like the balcony floor, you know, that could be anything. They can be individual. I think these are going to be owned apartments rather than a hotel, and in that way that you can have different floorings, you can have different surfaces to the balcony, tiles, wood, concrete, whatever you want. So while I'm waiting for all the paint to dry, I'm just going to go ahead and draw out the window spaces and the door spaces, and then well, we'll see what we've got left after that. Time for a sharp blade. Right, this has taken quite a while, but I've marked where all the cutouts have got to be now. So we've got the patio doors, big window, and they're all measured out. They're roughly equal, I would say. So now I've got the long job of cutting all those out, but I think I'm going to grab a coffee first. I've stuck the doors and window on that side bit, and I think that looks quite good, actually. I think that stands out a little bit, and I have got a couple more that I've taken off an old build that I had, so these will definitely get used somewhere along the way, because I think they look pretty effective. So, cup of coffee, cut these bits out, let's see what we got left. This is very time consuming, I'm not going to lie, but I'm getting there. Just a few more sets to cut out, and then we're going to start looking at how we're going to design, you know, the balcony and other bits to the front portion. Still haven't sorted out the light, but I will do. So I'm going to get this all cut out, see what it looks like. Like I say, that took a long time to do, but yeah, happy with that. So we've got patio doors, big window. That's each individual apartment block. The thing I need to work out is, in my head, everything was a lot smaller. I don't know why, but I think, so I need to make the inside look a little bit more detailed. So I think what I'm going to have to do, how am I going to do this? I sort of need to put a floor in behind this, which is fine because I can just do another strip that goes behind this and all the way along, and that in turn is something I can maybe stick the LED light on. I don't know, I need to step away and have a little think, but actually so far most definitely so good. I'm liking this. I just need to give it a bit of thought before I rush in, which is very out of character for me. So I'm going to put some dividing walls in here, coming down here, so it looks like they're individual apartments, and just generally muddle through this. So a bit of thinking time is required now. Okay, so I've taken the pieces that I cut out for the window, cut them in half, and they are perfect size as locals have it. I tend to do a lot of things the thickness of this ruler, and they're literally the thickness of this ruler, so more luck than judgment, but I'll take that. So I'm just going to start gluing a few bits in, so it looks as if there's a bit of a floor and you're not going to drop straight down to the next person's apartment below you. And I've got a lot of these to do. I won't film them all for obvious reasons, but I'll just do a couple and then I'll crack on and do the rest off camera. So just a tiny bit of glue, don't need a lot. It sticks foamboard so well. And then just simply sticking this section in place. And then this will go right to the back of the building, because the sides of the building, the depth of the building is the same as this. Nearly stuck that in the wrong place. So there is a method in my madness, sometimes. Not very often, but there you go. Okay, so that's how it's going to look. Can that be seen? Yeah. Well, let me put it on the track and see how it looks. This is a bit annoying. I thought I was going to get away without having to do the whole thing, but I am. So I'm going to have to do this all the way along, top and bottom. But I think it looks a lot better. But then when I do the interior, it needs to look sort of three-dimensional, so it's going to be tricky. So, right, I'm just going to crack on, get all these floors done, and we'll carry on after that. Right, I'm liking this. This is going to be good when it's all finished. Take it from me. I've used the other two windows, just whacked them on the side there. So they've all got floor sections to them. I mean, it looks a bit messy because of the joints, but I'm going to put floor covering over all of that in time. I need to work out how to do the interior because it needs to be some sort of a three-dimensional, so that comes in at an angle and across and out to try and make it look as if it goes back further. But I might see what I can find on Pinterest, because I can often get good pictures from there. So I'll have a little look. All I've got to do just to finish the outside for now is just to put little walls in between, dividing walls, 3 there, 3 there, just to separate the apartments. And then obviously I've got to work on the balcony and everything else. But before I do that, I'm going to get the lighting sorted out, because I need to mark on this back plate the bottom of the floor. So the LED light will come along here, back under here and under here, so it'll be hidden by this section, but the light hopefully should shine down. So that's a big part of the job, is getting the lighting fitted, routed up here and then stuck in place, and then we'll see what it looks like. I have high hopes for this. Well, that took some doing, I have to say, but I've done it. So I've got the LED light popped inside there. It's successful. All right, it was hard work, it was tough. I had to take a lot of the truck apart, but you can see how it's fitting there, and this sits over the top of it, and away we go. It's all lit up, so I am really happy with that. So I need to think about the background sections and start putting together some balcony areas. Right, I really like this. I just thought I'd let you know. So the start of the balcony. So we've got these ones down the bottom. I haven't have a very small balcony because I don't want it to encroach too much over the track, but it's fine, it looks okay. I need to cover up where that light pokes up from the bottom, but I can do that. So this little build is very much how I imagined it, and there's still a lot of foam board to be used because I haven't put the walls in yet, internal walls at the side, but I'm going to get all that done. I'm going to have obviously some sort of surround across here. I'll probably use foam board, to be fair, but I'm not going to do that until I've painted it, because I'll need to put the boundaries in between the balconies, so there's a lot of work to do yet, and that will probably have to wait until tomorrow because I'm absolutely knackered now. I do tire very quickly, bless me. So right, I'm going to refresh, reframe, come back tomorrow and do some more. Right, another day, another dollar, another dollar. I've popped the little side walls in, and once it's all stuck down, they'll fit nicely in, so that's okay. That was just a quick job. The other thing I did last night is I printed out some stuff I was going to use for the background for the apartments. Now, the scale is absolutely all over the shop. It's awful, but I do plan on putting some slightly tinted glass on the front, and I don't think it'll matter especially about the scale, but I'm going to try a couple and see how they look. It's just really a way of getting something colourful in the background, but I really don't know if it's going to work. So I'm going to try it and see what I think, and then I'm going to get the rest of it painted. Do you know what? I think I'm going to get away with this. I'm not looking for perfection here. I'm just looking for, so visually it looks like there's something going on in the apartment. I think I'm going to go with this. You know, worst case scenario, I can paint over it if I'm not happy, but I think I can work with this. Right, let's get sticking. Okay, so that's all the backgrounds put in place. I don't love it, but I think it will serve the purpose for now. And they're all too short, so I need to do something. I might even just leave it, actually. You're not going to see too much. So the next thing I need to do is the balcony partition pieces. So I've cut out 12 of these pieces. Well, I've done 4. I've got another 8 to do, and they're just going to sit in there in between. So I'm going to take this off and get them glued on. Right, this is really coming together, I think. So we've got all the partitions on. That's not especially well done. I might have to take that off and put it back on again. All the partitions are on, so I think it's looking pretty cool. The next job is going to be painting it. Although, do I keep it white? I'm really tempted to keep it white. I don't know. I'd say, what do you think? But by the time you see this, it'll be too late to answer me. I might do a really light version of this, so it's mainly white, but just with a hint, just to take the edge off the white. I think. I really don't know. I'm going to have a little play around and I think, but so far so good. Right, I have painted it, and I'm quite pleased with it. It just sort of takes away the harshness of the white, which I said before, and it is pretty much, it's hard to see from there, but it's almost like a magnolia-y sort of cream colour. And then I've painted the balcony flooring, done all that, popped it back in. So now I'm going to wait for it to dry, and then I need to just go over and paint over where I've gone on a few little splatters here and there to tidy it up. And then I need to have a think about what I'm going to use to put windows in this, because I've normally got little bits of plastic and stuff lying around, but I haven't. So I think I'm going to have to be creative. So I'm going to have a little hunt around, and when this is dry, I just need to put, let me just grab a little piece, a front section on, just to make it secure. And I might even keep that white. We'll see how I feel. So that's it so far with the lights on, and I think it looks pretty good, if I say so myself. So cup of coffee, let the paint dry. Right, now I'm gonna just pop the barrier on the front, because we don't want anyone falling off the edge. I'm going to do this in 2 parts because I need to hold it on to dry it, and then we'll come back and do the other end of it. First half done. Now we'll just come over, put the last bit of a dollop in there. Put it at the end. There you go. Now the balcony is secure, so I'm going to go and fit the other 2 pieces in, and then we'll see what it looks like. And there it is. I'm going to keep it white. I think it looks a lot better having that white. It just sort of stands out a bit and sort of draws the eye away from the imperfections of the backgrounds. But this is very nearly completed. All I need to do is find something for the glass, but I've got an idea. I'll be right back. Well, there you go. I found some glass. It was actually, you know, one of those plastic wallets that you keep paper in and things like that. Well, I found one of those, cut it up, pops that in. I mean, it's not perfect. It's a bit wobbly in places, but, you know, it has the desired effect, let's say that. So I love this. I've really enjoyed doing it. There's been a lot of challenges, but I honestly think this is one of my best foam builds ever. And I've made quite a few, but I'm absolutely chuffed to bits with it. So I might add a few little bits and pieces and a few details before I stick it on. Maybe decorate some of the apartments, maybe, you know, on the balconies, maybe put some chairs on it, but I'm not going to film all that. You know, that'll just get picked up and tagged on to other stuff as we go along. So I've done all this in one video and it's gone on a bit longer than I'd normally do, but I hope you've enjoyed it. And if you have, click like, click subscribe if you haven't already, and until the next video, you all take care, my friends. Thank you.